Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joy and today in this lecture we will discuss about the issue of stubble burning in India. What is meant by stubble burning? It means deliberately setting fire of the straw stubble, and this is after the harvesting of wheat and other crops. So after the harvesting is done, the straw stubble remains in the paddy and deliberately setting fire on this is known as stubble burning, and we will discuss about the issue of stubble burning, what are the causes, what are the reasons, what are the implications of it and what are the solutions. Let us start. First of all, let us understand what is the current affair. The rates of air pollution in the capital city, that is Delhi, is increasing every day, and one major factor contributing to this worsening condition of air in Delhi is stubble burning in the neighbouring states of Punjab, Haryana, etc. So the root causes this stubble burning, and this needs to be resolved if Delhi has to recover from the issue of air pollution. Let us analyze what is the present situation in the national capital region, that is New Delhi. So the air quality in New Delhi has degraded from very poor to severe. So the air quality was very poor, and from this it has even further degraded to severely bad air quality. And in this regard, the government has taken many steps like discouraging private vehicles, improving the public transportation in the city, shutting down of coal-fired power plants, or even curbing heavy industries. But despite of all these measures and steps taken by the government, the air quality is still degrading. Around 1/3 of the Delhi National Capital Region is engulfed with harmful particulate matter, and this particulate matter is derived from stubble burning. And the stubble burning is predominant in the neighbouring states of the Delhi like Punjab, Haryana, etc. The agricultural activities in these states are very high, and therefore this practice of stubble burning is also very high in these neighbouring states. Now, if this condition still prevails, or if no action is taken against the paddy stubble burning for the next few days, the situation in Delhi would further worsen. So the air quality will further degrade, and that would be very difficult for human survival. So this is the issue. Now let us understand why farmers are resorting to stubble burning, or what is the reason for this stubble. Now, what are the reasons for this stubble burning? Firstly, the stubble burning is prevalent in the states of Punjab and Haryana. So, considering the agricultural land or field in Punjab and Haryana, the size of the farms are very big. So, one reason is due to big size of the farms, and also secondly, there is a scarcity of labor because this Punjab and Haryana regions are wealthy region, especially the Punjab region. So because of these two reasons, scarcity of labor and also the big size of the farms, the farmers prefer mechanized harvesting. That is, in the harvesting process, machines are used. Now, using this mechanized harvesting, the stubble and the straw that is generated after the mechanized harvesters, they are of little use as the cattle field. So because of this mechanized harvesting, the straw and the stubble collected will not be used or cannot be used for cattle feed. And because this straw and stubble does not have a use or utility as a cattle feed, it has to be either left untreated in the farm itself. But what is the problem if it is left untreated in the farm itself? It will use the nitrogen in the field. So untreated stubble and straw in the farm will use up the nitrogen in the field, and this will reduce the yield of the next crop, that is wheat. So the productivity will come down. Now what is the solution? The straw and the stubble that is left in the field, they has to be properly disposed or managed. Otherwise it will use the nitrogen and the yield will come down for the next crop. So what is the solution for this? A happy seeder machine can be used. What does this happy seeder machine do? This happy seeder machine can plant the wheat seed without getting jammed by the rice straw. So the straw and the stubble that is left in the field will not be affecting the sowing of the wheat seed. And how does this happen? A happy seeder machine, it is a tractor mounted machine, and this tractor mounted machine will cut and lift the rice straw. That is, the rice straw is what is remaining in the field after the harvesting. So this will cut and lift the rice straw, and then this machine will sow the wheat seeds. That is the next seed, that is the wheat seed. And once the wheat seed is sown into the bare soil, the deposit of the straw or the stubble will be put over the sown area as the mulch. But what is the limitation with the happy seeder machine? This is not cost effective for the small farmers. The small farmers cannot adopt or afford this happy seeder machine. Now, other than happy seeder machine, what is the other solution? This residue should be gathered or it should be collected from the field, and for that labours are required. And during the season of Diwali, there was an issue of migrant labourers returning back to their home to celebrate Diwali. So there was a clear labour shortage in these fields during this season. So what was the solution that was left out with the farmers? They cannot leave the residue back in the field because this will consume nitrogen. Another solution is to use happy seeder machine, but for small farmers it is not affordable. Now thirdly, it has to be gathered. So that is also not possible because there was a shortage of the labor. So what is the only option left out? The farmers were left out with an only option to burn the waste. And this burning of the stubble and the straw resulted into a worsening of the air quality. Now there is even a deeper issue behind this. Let us analyze what is that. Paddy is not a natural crop in the Punjab region. So because it is not a natural crop, it will consume a lot of water. And because of this over consumption of water by the crops, there is an over reliance on the groundwater. So the groundwater level is declining, or we can say it has been rapidly depleting the aquifers. Now what was the background of this issue? In order to cut down the import of food grains or the dependence on imports for food requirements, the government and the policy makers wanted the farmers to grow more and more rice and wheat. The population on one side was growing, and in order to feed this increasing population, there should be adequate availability of food grains. And in order to make this food grains adequately available, what was done? The farmers in this region was promoted to grow more and more rice and wheat. And it was later in 2000s that the policy issue or the impact of the policy was understood. That is, the policy promoted the cultivation of more and more food grains like rice and wheat in this region. But the effect of this policy, which led to a severe water crisis, this was understood only in the 2000s. And as a solution to this, the state government of Punjab has delayed the sowing of rice by setting a mandatory start date. So a mandatory start date was declared, and this year it was postponed by 5 days. Now along with this groundwater depletion, the air pollution that is caused due to burning of this stubble and straw is also a major concern. Now let us understand what is the role of government, or what role can the government, both the state government as well as the central government, can play in order to tackle such a situation. In the year 2013, the Punjab government had banned burning of stubble. And in 2015, we will see that the National Green Tribunal also passed such an order that stubble and straw should not be burned. But despite these two orders, in 2013 Punjab State Government and 2015 National Green Tribunal, we will see that farmers continue to burn stubble in the field. And what is a major reason for this? Farmers do not have any cost-effective alternative. We have already discussed about it. So, even though an alternative in the form of a happy seeder machine is available, it is not cost-effective for small farmers. So, because there is an absence of a cost-effective alternative for the farmers, it becomes difficult for the farmers to find out a way out. So, the ban on the burning or the appeals by the government or officials is not working well. Now let us take the case of the happy seeder machine. A rapid adoption of this happy seeder machine can improve the situation. So what is the problem? It is not cost effective for the common farmers or the small and marginal farmers. At present, the cost of a happy seeder machine is 1.3 lakh, and out of this 1.3 lakh, 33% of subsidy is provided by the government. So one solution would be that the subsidy amount should be raised, especially for the small farmers. And along with this hike in subsidy, the government should also publicize and popularize the use of happy seeder machines. And there should also be facilities available that the farmers can purchase this happy seeder machines on rent. Now, if we look at the status of Punjab in the management of the straw, 20% of the straw is managed through biomass power plants or paper mills, cardboard mills, etc. And the rest 80% of the straw or the stubble is burned in the field itself. A second solution to this problem other than happy seeder machine is to incentivize the farmers, that is to provide some financial assistance to the farmers. The farmers organizations are already demanding for a financial assistance. So their demand is that the government should either provide them with some cash subsidy in order to manage this crop residue, or the procurement price should be improved or increased so that they can afford some alternatives in order to manage this crop residue, the straw and the stubble. So this can also be a viable solution. Now thirdly, a crop diversification is a viable solution. We have learned that it is not only the problem of burning of straw and stubble, but in Punjab region, paddy is not a natural crop, and this requires the consumption of huge groundwater, and therefore the ecological balance is lost or the groundwater levels are depleting. So it is a dual problem, burning of stubble and also the groundwater depletion. So in order to manage this dual problem, a crop diversification can be a very good solution. The 2013 National Agricultural Policy suggested that at least 1.2 million hectares of agricultural land must shift from paddy cultivation in this region. But in reality, what we will see is the area under paddy cultivation has been increasing since 2013. Now, what is the reason for that? The farmers do not have an incentive to diversify their cropping patterns, and along with that, there is also an agrarian crisis prevalent. So on one side they do not have an incentive, and on the other side there is an agrarian crisis, and this is due to heavy input cost, or the return from their agricultural produce is very less, and also along with these two factors there is a major issue called climate change. So all this has put the farmers in crisis or agrarian distress. And another problem with the crop diversification is that the central government is against the crop diversification because this will impact the food security of the country. So food security has also to be taken care of or considered while we consider the crop diversification. And on the other hand, with the farmers there is an agrarian distress and they do not have any incentive to diversify their crop. So if the issue of crop diversification is rightly addressed, this can help in managing the dual problem. One is with regard to the burning of the residue, and secondly with regard to the groundwater depletion. Now with regard to the use of groundwater, the depletion of groundwater levels is impacting the ecological survival, and in 2010 the central government had provided with a model bill for management of groundwater. But the Punjab state government did not adopt it. They refused it. Agriculture is a state subject and therefore the Punjab government did not adopt this model bill. Now the crisis of groundwater depletion has been increasing, and as a solution to this, both the central government and the state government must act together in order to resolve this issue. For the center, food security is a concern, and for the state government, the welfare of the farmers in the state is also a concern. So regarding food security, the central government must make some alternative action plans, and the state government, in order to end the agrarian distress in the state, must come up with incentives to help the farmers. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page. I wish you all a very good day. Thank you.